Hi everybody and welcome back to LL Sports TV and Keep It in the Family. Is it episode 20? I'm not so sure.
I'm not sure. We're losing count.
We're losing count, indeed. I'm joined by my lovely niece, Kenya.
Yes, how are you?
And I'm your host, Laurie, and we're here today to try and pick the bones out of what we saw last night, which is a disappointing exit from the Champions League, Arsenal losing to PSG 2-1 in Paris. Kenya, your initial thoughts?
Yesterday I was really angry, not gonna lie. Today I'm still a bit annoyed, but I'm just more disappointed. I think obviously we had a really good Champions League run. I mean, look at the teams we beat in it, look at the scorelines we had. And you know, when you're so close to something and you don't make it there, it's always frustrating. But I mean, yeah, I think yesterday's loss, the two legs could have been prevented, in my personal opinion. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, listen, first up, congratulations to PSG. Yeah, congratulations. They deserve to go through.
I don't agree with our manager.
Yeah.
I think that PSG were the better team over the two legs.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat us both home and away. So how the manager can conclude that we were the better team is beyond me. I can only say that maybe the disappointment of losing the game affected his judgment, because how he can say that, for example, you were the best team in the competition if we've gone out to PSG in the semis having been beaten home and away is beyond me. Maybe it was taken out of context, but that comment is clearly not true. I think it's a bit disingenuous. We were beaten by the better side. I've got no problem in saying that. And in fact, I hope PSG go on and win the competition. They're a good team. They're well coached. They've got some very good players, and they're a big club, and they deserve their success. That being said, I was disappointed because we did have our moments. I mean, I thought that we made a really good start, Kenya. I think that first 15 minutes was as good as we played this season, but crucially, we didn't score. And you know how it is. When you're playing teams, especially of the likes of a PSG, who are a very good team, when you're in the ascendancy, you have to make that count. You have to score, because you know football, 90-plus minute game, they're going to get their chances. And watching it at the box park, you was at the box park, that was the prevailing feeling. All of us felt that. In that first 15 minutes when we were on top, when we were I think we created something like 5 really good chances in them first 15 minutes. I think we had possession of upwards of 70%. You have to score when you're on top. We created a couple of good chances, didn't take them. And it's interesting because for me, the pivotal moment in that game was actually in the 16th minute. PSG broke away. And he hit the bar. And when that happened, I thought to myself, you know what?
That was a warning shot. Do you know what I mean? That was a warning shot. And then they scored a few minutes after that. And then, to be honest, they never really looked back. I mean, we were still in it. We still huffed and puffed, but we just didn't have the necessary quality to go on and win it. I think to me, that first half, or that game in general, I've seen that game so many times. I could tell you, I've seen it against Liverpool in the FA Cup, where we should have beat them 2-0. I've seen it against Manchester United in the FA Cup, where we should have beaten them. Do you know what I mean? I've seen that game against West Ham this season and last season, where we completely dominated, but in front of goal we were toothless. And like, that's where my gripe is with the manager mostly. It's like, we've seen this exact game so many times. And season upon season now, 3 seasons later, I'm still seeing it. Because we've failed to get options. We failed to... Like, a perfect example is, you look at Inter Milan, right? They bring on a 37-year-old and he scores the winner. Do you know what I mean? You look at PSG. They bring on Goncalo Ramos. They bring on Dembele. I know Dembele is your top player, but Goncalo Ramos not necessarily. Look at all the players that options they can bring on. They could have brought in Zaire Emery. Do you know what I mean? Look at all these players that they have to call upon. Who did we have to call upon? And it's, again, like, I look at this game, like, I've seen this game so many times. The manager's seen this game so many times, yet he's failed to prepare for these moments. And that's what frustrates me the most about the whole fixture. It's just kind of like, some of those players, I really feel sorry for them. Like, Gabriel, I know Gabriel didn't play, but he's the player that I feel the most sorry for, to be honest. There's no way a guy can have that great of an individual season and walk away with nothing. There's no way that the likes of Saka, Declan Rice, do you know what I mean, Saliba, Timber, put up those type of performances week in, week out, and they're getting let down in other areas. And it's the same common theme that we're talking about here, and it's like
agreed.
We now need to start asking questions.
I think what that game showed me as well is that we're not quite at that level yet. The way I would describe Arsenal, your dad summed it up as well in the fan cam that he gave after. We're a nearly team. We got to admit that at the top level anyway. We're a nearly team. So basically, what it is that we have some very good players in our team. You just mentioned them: Rice, Saliba, Gabriel. You know what I mean? We got a few really good players, and then we got some good players, but we need an upgrade in certain departments. And I think what that game showed yesterday is that we're not quite there yet, man. That is to me, it was a bit of a watershed moment. It made me realise that we're not quite there yet. Arteta and Berta and the likes, they've got a massive job this summer.
Yeah, they do.
Because decisions need to be made, players need to be moved on, players need to come in. So if we're going to be successful next season, because obviously we're not winning anything this season, then things have got to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. With the manager, I mean, listen, lots been said about the manager. There are a certain faction of the fan base that are saying, look, I don't think this guy is up to the challenge. For me, I think he's a good manager, but one trophy in 5 years, all that money spent.
Yeah, it's inexcusable, to be honest.
Yeah, we need to be seeing something a bit more.
I don't really get... I'm actually a massive fan of Mikel Arteta. I actually really like how he puts himself out there. I like what he's done. We can't sit here and say... We can't wash what he's done. But you can also... Two things can be true at once. You can say, right, you've changed the culture of the club. You've gotten us back to where we should be, which is challenging for things. But you can also say it's still not really good enough.
No.
We can't be comfortable with challenging. We now need to go that extra step and start winning things.
Absolutely.
And I feel like you don't want to look back at this team and say, oh my God, this guy was such a great player. He was one of the Emirates' best ever players. But what did he win, though?
What did he win, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The reality is football's about winning things.
Yeah. The reality is one trophy in 5 years.
Yeah, it's a prideful sport.
Exactly. And the reality is this season has been disappointing. I mean, look at our league challenge, I say.
It wasn't a challenge. Away.
I mean, to me, that league challenge was over.
In Jan. To me, it was done.
To me, it was February the 22nd. I remember it well. We lost at home to West Ham. West Ham at that time were playing like a drain.
Yeah.
Graham Potter's taken over. They were doing nothing. They come to the Emirates, they beat us. I think it was a Saturday the 22nd
and comfortably.
And after that day, I said, that's the title done.
Yeah.
Carabao Cup disappointing, FA Cup disappointing.
All in the same week.
Yeah, and then the Champions League, yes, we did well. I mean, I actually predicted,
I
did a show for AFTV at the start of the season. I said I thought we'd get to the semi-final. So listen, I'll give the team props for that. The Real Madrid was a great win. The PSV was a great win. We also beat PSG, which looking back at it now is a good win.
Yeah,
so
it was a good
we are a good team. But I think if we're going to step up to that next level, we got to improve the squad. There's no doubt about it. A striker is absolutely essential. It's interesting because I got up this morning.
Obvious.
I put on the TV and I saw pictures of Sesko and people. I was thinking, you know what? No disrespects, but we need someone better than Sesko.
Yeah,
in my view. What do you think?
I really like him. I think we're probably going to end up getting him.
I think so.
But I just think I personally want someone who's ready now.
Exactly.
Like, this is no disrespect. I'm not saying that he won't go on to be a top class talent because he looks like it.
Yep.
But my thing is like, we've already got a lot of that. We've already got a lot of for the future, this guy's going to be really good. And I'm like, what about right now? Football's like, so much happens in a year, do you know?
It does.
Imagine we finished fifth that 1 year. Who would have told us within about 8 months, you're going on a title charge? You could have nearly won the league. I'd be laughing at you. I'd be like, there's no way. We're just going to get in the top 4. Like, so much happens in football in such a short time.
It does.
And I just think, don't let this opportunity pass you by. No. Don't let this wicked defence, this great midfield, don't let someone like Saka pass you by. No. Like, don't, just because you wanted to think about the club in 5 years' time. Some of those players might not even be here in 3 years' time or even 2 years' time.
Well, we're already hearing.
We're already getting chased down for one of our best players, and William Saliba.
Listen, let's be honest. I mean, there's certain factions of the fan base loves and that Trent and Liverpool. That could well be us.
Exactly.
With Saka and Saliba. So,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? And, so that even for that reason alone, just to hold on to your best players, you need to be successful.
You need to show them why they should stay. This season has not
been a successful season, not at all.
It hasn't.
In fact, it's been a disappointing season.
It's been dreadful. I'd go as far to say it's probably been a 0 out of 10 for me, if I'm being honest. A 0 out of 10. I'll be honest.
I wouldn't say 0. I mean, we've been good in the Champions League.
Yeah, but my thing this season, I shout out Cecil. I said to Cecil at the start of the season, I said, this season for me is the make or break. This is the one where you need to win something big. And we didn't win something big. No. I can't... Yes, thank you for beating Real Madrid. Thank you for PSV, Sporting away, all these teams, Atalanta, whatever. But, like, that's not a trophy. No. Those are just good moments. I want to be able to say, yeah, we won the Champions League by beating Real Madrid, by slapping up PSV and Sporting and all these teams that no one said we had a chance against. I don't want to just turn around and be like, oh yeah, I remember that day I was at the Emirates and I watched Arsenal slap Real Madrid 3-0. Like, I'm thankful for that, but I want there to be more to the story. And I just look at the season overall, all the injuries, all the red cards and all the bad discipline, like... I honestly cannot name you like 5 really great moments.
Let me put you on the spot.
Personally.
Do you think the manager has what it takes to take us to the next level? Because a lot of Arsenal fans, that's the question a lot of them are now saying. Because, I mean, okay, yeah, there were injuries. There were mitigations. We had some bad injuries to some of our key players. Saka was out for a long length of time. Odegaard was out for a length of time.
Yeah.
Gabriel still out.
I think only Saliba and Partey are the only 2 players in our starting 11 who haven't been injured this season. Everyone else has been injured.
But then other clubs have had a lot of injuries as well. So, you know, even though that there is mitigation, but, you know, other clubs have had injuries as well. So, yeah, there have been injuries, loss of form, things like that. But question marks will be asked of the manager. I mean, even yesterday, I've got to be honest, man. Nwaneri not getting no minutes. That was baffling to me.
Do you know what my thing with Mikel Arteta is? I actually think he can win a Premier League. I think he can win the Champions League. The thing that like stops me from fully giving my 100% is that I just don't think he's brave enough.
Yeah.
Like, we look at the title race, our first title race. William Saliba's injured. Put in Jakub Kiwior, doesn't want to do it. He persists with Rob Holding. We get beaten on a 3-game bounce, and that costs us our title. What does he do after that? He puts in Jakub Kiwior. He doesn't put a foot wrong. We win the rest of our games. Do you know what I mean? Like, even at the start of this season, right, Odegaard's out. We've got this brilliant young talent that so many clubs in Europe, like Man City, Bayern Munich, all these teams are chasing us down. His name's Ethan Nwaneri. Play him. Give him a chance. This is actually his position. Yeah. Doesn't give him a chance at all. And then is forced to give him a chance. And we start to see, wow, this kid is really, really good. And he's just not brave enough. That's what worries me. If the plan A doesn't work, he's not brave enough to try something else. Yeah, he has a very
rigid approach, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He has a plan A, and if plan A works well, then we look good and we get the wins. If plan A doesn't go to plan, you're often thinking he seems bereft of ideas.
Exactly.
And he doesn't, like you said, Ken, he doesn't seem willing or courageous enough to change up his game plan.
Yeah, and he doesn't trust anyone. Like, we can talk about in January you weren't given a chance, but what about in the summer? When you sent out all these players, some of which you actually trusted, but you didn't replace them with anyone you did trust. Right. So now you're looking at your bench and you're like, oh, I don't trust Zinchenko defensively. I don't trust Kieran Tierney all that much.
You don't trust Sterling.
I don't trust Sterling. Trust me, I don't trust Nwaneri. I only trust Trossard. So you don't trust any youth players. But like, okay, you don't trust them, but who do you trust? You only trust a right back in Ben White and you only trust Trossard and Calafiori. What does that say?
Yeah,
it's just like those are my massive.
And when he does
gripes.
make changes, they're always like for
so
like,
late.
They're always late in the game.
The momentum's got I said at 60 minutes, go and get Ethan on. If you're not going to get Ethan on, then maybe get Zinchenko on because he's also an attacking option.
I couldn't understand it. We need 2 goals to stay in the tie, we're not making an attacking sub.
I was looking at Thomas Partey suffer yesterday in that midfield. He didn't have a great game.
No.
And I'm like, get him off. Get I don't know, Ethan on, or get Zinchenko on, and get Rice maybe a bit deeper, and go and try and win the game. But
because
he's
when
so
he brought Trossard on, you could see what that little injection of energy and vitality into the team, which is what we need. We need to score goals.
As soon as Trossard came on, he made an instant impact.
He did.
I just don't. to me, I just look at it and I'm just like, I actually believe in Arteta. I think he's a great manager. But
he's not great. He's not great.
He's good. Yeah, he's a good manager. No, but he's not
great. It's a stretch. He's not enough to
he's not brave enough. That's he's definitely not. And you think about managers that win things, they're brave. Yeah. Look at Pep. That's why he's won so much, because he's brave. He plays people at left back and whatever, and switches up teams because he just trusts in his ability.
And he has spent money. I mean, listen, man. He spent upwards of 730 odd million.
Yeah.
So it is his team now. You can't use that excuse, it's somebody else's team. In fact, the team that he took over, he actually won a trophy with. Yeah. So you would have thought that 4.5 years later, you would have built a team that you can say is now ready, able to win something. And once you're not winning things, aspersions will always be cast. But exactly. Yeah, it was disappointing, man. But I think in the cold light of day, that loss actually revealed that we're short in certain areas, and that needs to be addressed. So in some ways it could be a blessing in disguise. I do think though that obviously this season's done now. Let's hope we can hold on to second, because if we're not careful that might go. I mean, I know some people will say, what does it matter as long as we've got Champions League football? But I do think that there should already be, if they've not started already, they probably have already, him and Andrea Berta need to sit down, dissect that team and say, look, because I think we're about 3 or 4 players short of where we need to be. So do I.
I look at I think we need a striker, we need a left winger, we need another 2 midfielders, in my opinion. That's the bare minimum of what we need. That's not even considering that we also need another goalkeeper. Like, I can't even believe I'm saying that. We might even need another defender, because we're going to send out 3 of them. It's just, we actually need a lot.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm saying that, because it's like, look how far we developed last season and look how much we've regressed this season. I don't know, man.
It's definitely been a disappointment.
Very disappointing.
But yeah, I mean, that's that's our take on it. I mean, we do have a game this weekend against Liverpool. I must admit, I'm going up there. I'm not looking forward to that game at all, because probably for the first time this season, I'm actually predicting that we might come up short.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be surprised.
You can imagine the confidence. I mean, at the end of the day, they are professionals. So listen, they will have to get themselves up.
Are they?
In time.
like to see it.
They are getting paid vast sums of money, by the way.
Like to see where my money's going.
Yeah. So, we would like to think that they're going to be professional and approach the game that way against Liverpool on Sunday. But I've got to be honest, the sense of disappointment across North London is palpable at the moment. I would imagine that the players' vibe and confidence and morale is on the floor right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to Liverpool. Liverpool lost last week against Chelsea. They're going to get their guard of honour on Sunday, and they're going to want to reinforce that in front of their own fans. And we will be almost like bit part players on that day. So it's not going to be comfortable viewing, man.
No, it's not. But look, this is the bed they made. We've got to lie in it.
Yeah.
I actually don't feel sorry for half of those players. Like, this is what happens when you don't turn up in games, when you throw games because you're concentrating on this.
I would say though, I've heard some people today, I guess it's predictable, some of fans from other clubs saying we bottled it. We didn't bottle it. No,
yeah, I think to be honest, I'd say bottling is when, if we had gone like 3-0 up and they'd come back, that's a bottle.
We gave it everything.
The reality is, like, we actually were just beaten by a better team.
Yeah, and we gave it everything. That's where I will give Arteta and the guys credit. We went there, we had a game plan. For the first 15 minutes, we looked really good. We didn't score. PSG, we allowed them back into the game. They took their chance and even went through. They missed a penalty, terrible penalty, by the way, and still went through. So we gave it our all. I think what it showed is that we're just not at that level.
Yeah, we just need we're almost like PSG before the PSG of now, where they were still good, but like they were missing that special element.
That's it.
And now it's clicked for them really well, and congratulations to them. That's why they made the final. Exactly. That's why they swept the league, and it's a shame they're not going unbeaten in their league now, but we just need that one thing to click us together to make something special. And I do think maybe we look at our style of play, maybe we need to be a bit more fluid, maybe we need to be less structured. Like, I mean, look at when we beat Real Madrid, it's because we decided to, Declan Rice decided, I'm not crossing this in for a header, I'm just going to shoot. And I think we just need more of those special elements to make us more cohesive, in my opinion.
Well said.
Yeah.
Like a wise man once said, it's never a loss, it's a learning experience. So, as I'm saying, we need to pick the bones out of what happened, not just last night, throughout the season, and use that as a way of progressing, moving forward. And let's hope that next season we can start to reverse the trend and win some trophies. But Kenya, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Coming on the channel, as always, giving us the benefit of your great knowledge. And also, thank you so much, everybody out there, for watching and supporting LL Sports TV. Really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And we are out. Catch you on the next one. Take care.